Okay, guys. It's Finance Fridays, but it's Sunday morning, or Sunday afternoon in Los Angeles. So we're just gonna go roll with it this time. I had a chance to talk with a guest at DX Live. He wasn't on DX Live this Thursday, but he was hanging out, kind of watching things going on. He was friends with one of the on-air personalities slash hosts, Marcel Friday Williams, who's been on the show as well. So what I was talking to him about, because he was like, we did this segment called Ask Exec, or Ask the Exec, and I was answering questions from artists about the business and just trying to, what they need to do to be successful. And so he kind of pulled me to the side after and wanted to ask just a specific question about moving to LA and figuring out how he was going to be successful, or like what should he do to get a job. And so we started talking about it and breaking things down, and I realized it really wasn't about like what he needs to do to get a job, because I can't get a job for somebody. It's really on them to sort of figure out that experience and figure out what they're going to do. So what I did recommend and what I thought was really interesting was he said he's coming with savings. So I really think that's a really, really important point, is that everybody needs to come to someone like Los Angeles or New York with savings. If your goal is to make it, 100% make it, and that's exactly what I did. I came with $5,000. The first time I came with $5,000, but I wasn't planning to stay. The second time, I came with about 40, or maybe even 80, and I was 100% planning to stay at that point. At that point, I was committed to making Los Angeles my home. So, first rule number one, come with money. And if you don't have money, you're just going to have to basically work your ass off for months and save that cash and then come. I mean, that's really all it comes down to. So what I would think is about a runway of anywhere from 1.5 to 2 years is a solid runway. 3 would be amazing. It's going to take you time to develop relationships. You have tons of relationships at home where you're from. You might be from St. Louis, Missouri. I was from Winnipeg. Tons of relationships at home. But in a major city like Los Angeles and New York, Chicago, or even Atlanta, you're not going to have the relationships established. So you need time to establish this relationship. 2, keep your cost of living really, really low. So if you get a place to stay, keep those costs down to $800,000, $900,000, especially in the big city. Live with people. I mean, that's just what it comes down to. I lived with people the first time I was here just to see what the environment was like, and when I came back and moved, I lived with people again as I was finding my place. Use your friends and your resources to the best of your abilities. Don't, lose them, so don't annoy the shit out of them and stay for 2 years. But, if they let you stay for a couple months and you need to figure out the land, that's really, really what you do. So that's number 2. Number 3 was try to get a job, and as you get a job, work a little bit to make sure that your funds even last longer than you actually think they do. It's because that's going to be your backstop, right? So that's going to extend. Let's say you saved enough for 2 years, then you have the extra year to the extra money that comes in from your job to keep moving to the next year. And that's really the best sort of rule set that I can give you, right? So number 1, come with money. Somewhere like LA, anywhere from 15 to 35 is the best. And lean on the 35 more than the 15. I might say 15, and some guys might make it, but I'm actually gonna commit more to the 35. And number 2, make sure cost of living is low. So where you're staying, make sure you get an apartment, live with people, figure out the lay of the land. And this includes New York, Chicago, Atlanta. And number 3 is get a job that's going to pay for part-time, because that's not your commitment. You want to spend as much time on your business or on what you want to do as possible, but part-time is great just to supplement it and give you an extra year or 2 if you need it. All right, guys. Well, that's it. You can follow me at Mr. Cherian, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, and I'll talk to you guys very, very soon.